What's up, guys? Sean here, coming at y'all with a quick little video. Been talking a lot of Eagles stuff lately. I figured we'd flip it back to the 76ers, talk about some of the stuff we're seeing there with their training, KCP draining an unreal amount of threes in a row, all that and more. But first, if you're new here, please like, please subscribe. We're posting daily content, Philadelphia news, Eagles news, 76ers news, and more. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I can't do that without you guys. I appreciate all the love and support. With that being said, let's get right into the video. So this has been floating around a little bit. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this. Jaylen Brown working with Lethal Shooter in the offseason, doing a lot of spot up drills, catch and shoot, one dribble, two dribbles. And I talked about this in another video, but he's doing team specific drills. And you really love to see where his mindset's at because he already has an idea of how things are going to go this year. Everybody knew Braun was going to come in and be more of a facilitator than anything else. Jaylen Brown is going to be playing a ton of defense. He's going to do a lot of spot up shooting, catch and shoot, Maxi driving in, kicking out. So he's already preparing for it and getting his body and his mind in shape for what the role's going to be this coming year. And you just love to see how smart of an offseason plan it is, who could be a #1 option on so many other teams. You know, just out here buying completely and understanding that the Sixers have a real shot at a chip this year and next year potentially. If you do things the right way, you're just going to add to your resume and make yourself look even better. So great offseason so far from Jaylen Brown. I love everything I'm seeing here. Shout out Chris Johnson Hoops. Just a couple days ago, Maxi and LeBron were already working out. Just imagining that they're working on their chemistry. They're going to split ball handling duties more, probably 60-40, 50-50. I imagine in that range. They're going to want Maxi on ball and off ball. There's going to be times where LeBron's off the floor and Maxi's going to have to run the second unit. You imagine they're working out all the intricacies there. And then Braun is also just gauging Maxi's speed, where he's shooting better on the court so they can draw up plays better. With Braun comes a certain level of intelligence that we're just not used to having on this team. Normally, you really rely on that coach to bring the experience and everything you need to make sure players are in the right position. LeBron is the coach on the floor. He's going to be the facilitator. He's going to be the one running everything and handling where people need to be. And him and Maxi working together this early is just a great sign that come day one, game one, they're going to be absolutely ready to answer the call and come out here and put up points immediately and start off strong, hopefully. I couldn't really find where VJ's training. I tried on Instagram, tried on X, but wasn't really finding too much on that. But obviously, when LeBron got signed, VJ was in the gym. So you know where VJ's at, building strength, building muscle, just making sure that he's ready to play a huge defensive role this season. A lot like Jaylen Brown, his role is going to be similar, but more guard oriented, covering smaller NBA players. But again, playing defense against sometimes the #1, #2 best guy on the opponent's team. You're going to be playing heavy amounts of defense and you're going to be a spot up shooter. If we kick the ball to you, you got to put the shot up. So we've already seen VJ working on his shooting. Now we see him in the gym, building strength, getting ready to take on more of that defensive role. And I think VJ takes a huge leap in year two. I think that a lot of people are talking about VJ's not going to have a great season. LeBron coming is going to cause some kind of regression. They don't play the same position. They don't play the same style of ball. There's nobody that's ever been on a team with LeBron that really suffered their development because of it. If anything, LeBron will show you exactly what someone is right away. Now, has there been situations where there's too many cooks in the kitchen? Yes, but LeBron's not coming in to be your top scoring guy. He's going to rebound, he's going to facilitate, he's going to play defense, and he'll give you a scoring boost when needed, and he's going to take a shot when left open. That's pretty much how it's going to go this year. So I don't see how VJ couldn't be pivotal this year. There's going to be VJ games throughout the year where he puts up 30, maybe 40 points this year. And we already got a glimpse of that last year. Even in the playoffs, he was still shooting so confidently. And with another year under his belt, with an off season of training, shooting, not having to worry about school, graduations, VJ's going to take a huge leap. I put this one up on the TikTok and I believe on YouTube Shorts as well. KCP just draining 25, 26 threes in a row pretty casually. If you listen to the video, coach after 3 or 4 is like, all right, good job. Hell yeah, blah, 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 blah. Once he hits about 15, 20, and then up into the 25 range, you could tell the coach is like, all right, don't even worry about shooting from over there because you got your work in. We don't need to see nothing else. You know, this is KCP at his best. The last couple years with the Magic, with the Grizzlies, people see his numbers. They don't really watch the games. They don't really understand the teams. They just see one thing and they're like, he's cooked. For ball knowers and people that actually pay attention, he's been on reserve for 2 years. He played less minutes last year than he ever has in his career. And he's a player that plays heavy amounts of minutes throughout his career. He got a rest. He's still athletic. He has no real major injuries under his belt. He's been relatively healthy the majority of his career. And this right here is exactly why you bring him in. Another 3-and-D player. He'll absolutely drive inside and shoot from anywhere on the court, but he's mainly going to be a 3-and-D guy. He's going to be probably your 6th, 7th, 8th guy in every single rotation, every single night. And with injuries, with crazy shit that happens throughout the season, he might start a couple games for us this year. But seeing him shooting at this clip already, and then he misses one, comes out and drains two more, which is just, he's a pro. There's a reason why he wanted to go with LeBron. There's a reason why LeBron wanted him here. It just makes perfect sense. He's exactly what you needed on this Sixers bench. And then with his size and athleticism, the way he plays defense, it's just going to be another huge piece to making sure this team does what they know they're capable of. I love to see this from KCP. I'm super excited to watch him play this year. This could be a Ben Simmons hype video. All of this shit could be, just a Ben Simmons hype video if we're being real. But Adem Bona is out here working on his shooting. And a lot of people were talking shit, learn how to set a pick, blah, 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 blah. In reality, if Adem Bona wants to continue playing on this team and wants to continue playing in the NBA, he has to develop this part of his game. Yeah, there's things we're going to need him to do this year. Is he really going to be shooting that much this year? Probably not. You need him to be a lob threat at all times because LeBron's going to absolutely get him an extra 5, 6, 7 points a game just on lobs alone. But you need him setting screens and rebounding and working on his rebounding overall because there was a lot of times last year where his rebounding was trash. I love to see this because this improves his long-term game. Maybe he takes a step forward next year. Maybe he does a lot more than anybody's expecting. But I'm going to tell you right now, the jumper looks pretty smooth. Elbows tucked, straight up. He's taking his time with it. He's a big dude, so you don't really have to worry about closeouts as much. Some of the shots look a little iffy now that I'm watching the video back again, but most of it looks pretty good. And, if Adem takes a big step this year, it could fill a huge role for us because we know Joel's not starting every game. We know Adem probably isn't capable of carrying the full workload. But if he gives you 20, 23 minutes a night of solid play inside, good defense, hustle, rebounding, being a lob threat, we're going to win a lot more games because of it. So happy to see Adem working on his game. Hope he takes another step this year because he can really only get better at this point. There was a lot of stuff last year that wasn't great to watch, but he is a young guy. He is, fairly young in his basketball career overall. So seeing something like this and seeing that he's shooting already, it is a pretty good sign. So I love to see the players work. I love the hustle that we're seeing right now. It's just exciting to watch. Last thing I really want to cover here. This one is kind of a little pet peeve for me, so I'm probably going to rant a little bit. But 76ers GM Mike Gansey said during a conversation with the media, LeBaron Philon Jr. has grown 2.5 inches since being drafted. LeBaron, has had some late growing happening to him. He was 6'3" when we took him at 22, but now he stands almost 6'6". With this growth spurt, we're really hoping for some electric play off the bench, using him in different ways than we imagined. It'll all be up to Nick Nurse in rotation and minutes-wise, Mike Gansey states. Did Philadelphia's steal of the draft get any crazier? All right, they're saying Cooper Flag is 6'11" now, which I have trouble believing. I need to see that shit this year. All these guys, these heights in the NBA, like, I wish they had a halfway point in the year where instead of the All-Star games and all this shit that we do right now, make everyone come in this bitch barefoot and stand up against a wall and break out the old mom and pop tape measure and let's find out for real because I've met AI and I'm 5'11" and I'm taller than AI. All right. And he's listed at 6 foot. I've seen some of these guys listed at 7'2", 7'3", 7'4". And like, let's be real here. Yeah, there's some 7-footers out there. There's some big people out there. The NBA is bigger than ever. They're pulling people from all over the world, blah, 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 blah. Some of these guys are huge and you see that in the game, but like everybody's 7 foot now and it's stupid as fuck. This guy can ball. He's got handles for days. He did a hell of a job in college against really good talent and against really bad players. He had a hell of a preseason run until he hit a little bit of a wall, but he looked confident and I still feel confident in him coming in and potentially being our 6th guy. Now with Simons and with KCP, he doesn't have to take on the 6-man role every night. If he's not having a great night, we can stash him a little bit better. But if he comes out and he has an immediate impact on this team, which with LeBron James on the floor, with him and Joel Embiid on the floor at the same time, he absolutely can make a difference in these games. He's going to have the space. He's going to have the time. He's going to get a few touches early in the season, mid-season, and you're going to get to see a little bit of what he is. And if he utilizes those minutes correctly, he could be crazy this year. Now, with all that being said, it goes back to this height shit. I'm so over the height shit. He didn't grow 2.5 inches. He came in with maybe taller shoes. Maybe Mike Gansey's slouching a little bit or something, but like guys don't just grow 2 inches in 2 months, maybe with some HGH or something, but this shit's got to stop. It's so annoying. I'm so tired of watching it. Phylon is fine just the way he is. You drafted him at 22. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to say he grew. Here's the hope you need. No, Phylon's going to be a baller. When he plays his first minutes on the national stage in the biggest games in front of everybody, and people really get to watch him and they watch those handles, that's all they're going to have to see. I'm telling you right now. Some of the shit he did in the summer league was already so crazy. So high hopes for Phylon. Let's get over this height shit. But all our boys are training. Phylon's training too. And again, just super excited to see it. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for me. Covered a little bit of everything here. The guys are training. They're working together. We got some deeper breakdowns coming, a little bit more film room stuff. Don't really have the time to edit it all together right now. We got a little bit of a dead zone coming in the off season here soon. So I'm probably going to stack some of that stuff up once things start to slow down a little bit more. We've been super, super popular on the TikTok lately. I'm posting daily content there, actually more like hourly content there. We're doing highlights from training camp. We're doing interviews with players and stuff like that. We're breaking it all down. Everything that's going on Eagles, everything 76ers, it's going to be here first, guys. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thanks so much for watching the video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.